everybody, it's February and Valentine's Day is around the corner, and whether you're celebrating or not, it is a really good excuse to get your beautiful, colourful, warm colour pens out and just letter something beautiful. So in today's video, I'm sharing 4 fun ways to letter Valentine's Day. We're going to try some simplistic style, like a really bouncy calligraphy style, flourished look. And one of my favourite styles actually is like a really well spaced style. It's going to be a lot of fun. Grab your supplies and let's dive in together. So let's start by drawing some baselines. It's really nice to have some sort of a baseline, some guidelines when you're lettering, especially when you're learning. So we want to try and keep everything consistent and nicely balanced. So I'm just drawing 4 lines because we're going to do four versions of the same phrase. So maybe you're using like ruled pad already, which is great. Okay, so I'll be using this lovely red Tombow Fudenosuke Brush Pen. I really love it. It's just really good for beginners. It's a professional, tool to help you learn. So I highly recommend it. And it comes in so many different colors. Do check out, the website. I'll link it all below so you can have a look. So the first version is going to be quite simplistic. We're going to try and keep everything on the baseline. So I'm starting with the letter V. I'm starting the letter with a beautiful entry stroke. And as we continue, I'm going to try and slant everything slightly. So in traditional calligraphy, we could very often see a 55-degree slant. And obviously, because we're doing modern calligraphy, it doesn't have to be as strict. Mine is definitely not 55 degrees here, but it's quite nice to slant it at least a little bit. So it definitely gives your lettering like a really nice, elegant look. And especially for this style where everything sits on the baseline, where we're not really stretching the letters too much up and down. We're not changing the height of the letters. So everything is a little bit more neat. See if you can round up those joining up strokes. As I finish the letter, I'm doing like a U shape before I connect it to the next letter. Be mindful of the spacing. We definitely want to try and control the spacing as much as we can so we don't get like huge gaps in between the letters. And you can do that by either extending or shortening the last stroke of each letter. So if you make it longer, obviously the spacing is going to be wider. And if you keep it nice and upright and quite tight, the spacing is going to be a bit more narrow. I do love this style. I think it's quite classic looking, but still modern. It's quite fun. I hope you enjoy it too. Well done. See if you can do it slowly. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and pause it and just complete it properly. Okay, let's do another style, which is bouncy calligraphy. Here we're breaking the rules, we're having fun, and we're going to bounce those letters up and down. So notice how I'm stretching the letter A below the baseline before it stretches back to catch the letter L, and I'm continuing by making some of the letters a little bit shorter and smaller, like letter A and E are just slightly smaller than others, and the letter N is really bouncy, so we're stretching it below the baseline again. So we're definitely varying, we're kind of going up and down with our strokes. There are some dramatic drops in letters like A and N, even letter T. So just notice, so some letters are definitely more bounceable than others, like the letter N, for example. And some letters like the letter E, for example, is normally quite small in this style. All right, let's do a capital D with maybe like a big loop wrapping around that downstroke. And notice how I'm bouncing the last downstroke of the letter A as well, dropping it below the line and then stretching it back up. Do remember to finish and start your words with like a nice long stroke, which is called an entry stroke, and finish your words with a longer stroke as well, which is called the exit stroke in calligraphy. Okay. Only when you're feeling ready, we're going to carry on with the third style, which is going to be a lovely flourish style. So I'm starting the letter V with a little entry flourish this time. So notice how it's looking quite oval, and that's what we're trying to aim for. I'm detaching the letter L to to add a little flourish there, and I'm trying to go for a bigger flourish. So I'm doing a downstroke first and preparing before I do the up, down and flourish stroke. There isn't much room for the letter T, but let's slot it in. And it's going to look a little bit higher, which is fine. We can do a little, like tucked in flourish on the letter N here. Then the letter E is a bit smaller, and then we're just finishing with a beautiful curvy looking letter S. I love this. This is quite fun. It's still quite legible. You can read it well. It's not like overwhelming, but it's quite flourished. Let's do the letter D, starting with a little loop shape. And then I'm just planning it out. So I'm doing the letter A a little bit smaller. And then the letter Y could maybe stretch all the way kind of above. So it kind of looks like the infinity sign shape. So do try to look for those ovals, infinity sign shapes wherever you can when you do flourishing. That's like the biggest secret, making them look natural. I love this style. And lastly, we are going to try like a really well-spaced calligraphy style, which I actually really love. So the trick here is to try and keep all of the X height letters, which are the smaller letters like A, N, O, C, a little bit smaller. So I always say this, like imagine that we are squishing this word from top and bottom, and everything just becomes a little bit wider, a little bit more, a little bit shorter. And the spacing looks quite wide as well. And we are trying to achieve that by lengthening each exit stroke of each letter. So as we finish the letter, we're just stretching it sideways a little bit more rather than going up. So we're definitely focusing on stretching it to the side. So as I'm doing the letter D, I'm stretching that last stroke to the side to catch the letter A. And as I finish, I'll also add like a little exit stroke there, so it all looks nicely complete. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this. It's a really fun practice. We tried 4 different styles, and I'd love to know which was your favourite. So comment below which one felt the most natural for you. I would love to know. Thanks so much for practicing with me today. If you feel like you would like to continue your practice and you would like to improve and grow your confidence and become a professional calligrapher, you'll enjoy my Blooming Calligraphers membership, which is a wonderful place. It's got so many tutorials like this and many more. It's got worksheets, project ideas, live sessions, a lovely group, a community support, a Facebook group where we all connect to do challenges. It's so much fun, and it just helps you kind of stay on track, and it gives you a good reason to pick up your supplies like weekly. So it's a really wonderful space, and you can get a really special price if you join through the link in the description. So I'll link it below. Do check it out. So if you use the promo code Keep Learning, you can get a discount for your first month to just try it out, to see if it's for you. And I would love to see you inside it. It's a really lovely community that I'm sure you would enjoy being part of. Thanks so much, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye.